Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Lilibet Day channel. Hello, how's everybody in the world today, tonight, afternoon, in your time? So mega love shout out to all my new subscribers who subscribed my channel and to all my members. So for those not yet part of my membership, feel free to click that join button and you will have range. So this is the thing that I would like, I would like to share this, because if you're part of my membership, you will get early access to all the videos that I'm going to upload it or upload. Okay, so that's the that's the number one freebie that I can able to give you guys if you're part of my membership. So my membership, it's very, it's just like 25 pesos. So it's very affordable. So today is May 31, 2026, here in the Philippines, 8:30 a.m. So this is the last day for the month of May. So next tomorrow, it's June 1st. So the classes here will start on June 8th. So the students have another 1 week, for their vacation. But because during the lockdown, they change, the start of classes. So now that everything is back to normal, so it starts June here. It starts of class. So this year, June 8th. And of course, I would like also to thank for those people that I met um, 2 weeks ago, and in meet and greet with Sunshine Shoulder and Richie Rich abroad. So thank you so much for for those people that I met and you go to my channel and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Okay, so maraming salamat sa inyo. And then, if you need something to ask about, about business, about, make money, all you have to do, just go to my channel and check, because I have, a contact number there, and then Gmail. So you can contact me anytime if it's necessary, to talk to me or to talk to you. Just let me know. Okay, I'm open, to do a business with you guys. And please hit like hit the like button and subscribe. So I was surprised that for the past 2 weeks I have more subscribers after after the events that I attended. So thank you so much, guys. So I just wait for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna talk. And then, guys, for those who wants to join with me, I will um, drop the link so that you can join with me. For those wants to join, or for those interested, to join. So um, like I have advice for those Western people. Don't be afraid to talk anything here in the Philippines, but you have this is, I always say this, uh, there's nothing wrong to say something about my country, but you have to think many times what words came out in your mouth, so that they will never look after you. So just comment about the good thing that you can say, but the bad thing, it's my advice is better for you to keep that in yourself, because it's not really advisable. So if you're gonna say something good, then you're free. Okay, you have
Yes, I am. How can I help you today?
you know no, I'm not. Just, my goodness, what's happening? This is Chinese. So that's that's the thing that sometimes people, especially Western people are hesitate, to say something. No, yes, I go on that, because if you're gonna say something not good, because here's the thing, guys, that during the time that there's no internet or social media platform, there's a lot of Western people coming here say something. Even those Hollywood actors and actress, they say something to us, but it's not really broadcast. Okay, but now they cannot really do that, because the government eyes were really staring, or were really look at you. Okay, so there's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong to say something about my country. Okay, but if it's not good, you better keep that in yourself. Or else, if you're gonna insist that to say something about my country, two things that they're gonna do for you: you might kick out on the country, or you might bond here. Okay, because there's a lot of things that that the government will not allow, because Filipino go to the other countries, like in Southeast Asia. If they do a mistake, they violate the laws there, so the 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 government, by government, they negotiate that. But if they not really negotiable about the crimes that they did, so my president cannot help that. Okay, so just same thing. Okay, so we don't really say something like in the West, particularly USA. So we don't really say something, because that's really, really um, uh, it's not really good, because it will affect my people in the West. Okay, so same thing with with Western people living here in the Philippines. Even though that oh my goodness, this is BS. Okay, but you can't, because if you really want to stay here, like I said, you can say something good. Just like a free advertised or free advertisement about my country. But when it comes to that, no, because even my people, they're very outspoken what they observe about that place, or especially outside Metro Manila. And then their mayors and their people there, sometimes we Filipino, we cannot really accept the fact that there's something wrong in that place. But most, some of my people, they like persona non grata. See, they declare persona non grata, because they're very honest, they're outspoken to say what they see on that city when they're visited. But you have to avoid that. Okay, so if you cannot say good, then close your mouth. But today, I would like also to share those Western people that you have. The question is, do foreigners have the rights in the Philippines? So we're gonna discuss that later, because don't be hesitate, don't be afraid to know what's your right here in the Philippines. Okay, so Frank said, don't forget Okay, so this is Frank said, don't forget to file your taxes if you are from the USA. And then go to irs.gov and download your 1040. Is that the correct pronunciation, or 1040? Well, Frank is very good in that because he's been working in IRS for 27 years plus 3 years in military. So he has 30 years in government service. So this is very interesting topic, guys, that you can learn, or some bloggers that they can share also, if you can deliver it good. But me, I have something that I want to share, because I also have so many Western friends. Well, they stay in vacation here, and then some living here in the Philippines, so that they are not really they were aware of their rights. If something happened to them, they have rights. Okay, so let's gonna start about, do foreigners have the rights to the rights in the Philippines? The answer is what? The answer is yes. Okay, yes. Big Y-E-S. Yes, na yes. Who's this? Kamusta, Tates? Who is this? Yes, I'm good. So guys, just let me know, guys, if you're the one that I met and meet in great, because so that I can recognize you. Okay. And before we gonna start to the discussion, so I have there all right, help me. Help me to reach the amount of $40. Okay, so it's not really heavy in your pocket. So I really want that to reach that $40, not $400, 40. Okay, so I really appreciate that. Okay, so, and guys, if you wants to be part of my membership, feel free to click that join button. I really appreciate that. And by the way, guys, for those Western people coming here in the Philippines, that if you don't really know about the laws, I have also contact in my WhatsApp number, because I have my little sister. She's a certified attorney. So if you wants to know about your rights, or things when it comes to business, own properties here, just let me know. The consultation online is very cheap. Okay, it's very affordable. Any family, everything, she will handle that. So I just uh, plug my sister, so that she's, well, just freshly graduate, and then uh, freshly got his license, and he passed the bar last year. Okay, no, not last year, this year. Okay, so it's good also that you have friends here in the Philippines, that that you have you aware of, go to a lawyer. That's very important, guys. Even me, if I gonna go to the States, if I'm not really aware of what's the laws there, so I prepare to consult the attorney first before I do an action. Same thing with those Western people, because if you're gonna just vacation, just vacation, you don't really see what's the, what's the thing that you can really handle yourself, and then the things that you have to do, legal, legal advice once you're living here in the Philippines. But for vacation, you cannot really see that. Okay, so we're gonna start this. So mega love shout out to 6 million people. So please don't forget to give me a thumbs up for that. So now, it says that yes, foreigners have the right here in the Philippines. Though some rights differ from those of Filipino citizens, here's a clear summary. Okay, I'll give you that. Rights you do have. Basic human and legal rights. So I'm gonna talk this, I'm gonna read this. Equal protection, due process, right to conceal, freedom of unlawful search, seizure, protection and against the abuse, torture, access to the courts. Okay, so if a foreigner coming here in the Philippines, and then somebody, harm you guys, and then they try to torture you, you have the right, to go to the police station, or, to file case towards the person that they harm you. But make sure that you have the right, you have the right to file that case, because here's the scenario. Some Western people here, why some Filipino people harm them, because sometimes it's according to their personality. I'm not saying all, okay? Some Western people, when they come here in the Philippines, they have attitude that, how they approach people, how they approach local. It's just like I'm gonna example with, with this, there's I forgot, but he's living in Europe. Okay, he's a blogger. He's living in Dumaguete City. So when he do filming while walking, and then of course, we Filipino, that you're something different, your skin is white, your hair is blonde, men and women will staring at you. But it's just like they're not staring at you because they're gonna do harm on you. They're gonna stare at you because you're different from us. Okay, so in his, his show, he says that, people staring at, they look like monkey. And that's in, Dumaguete City, and then they have an ordinance in Dumaguete, bawal ang bastos. Bastos means disrespectful. So that's it triggers the Bureau of Immigration, to check that person, because that's disrespectful. And especially in Dumaguete, they have ordinance. Okay, so still he has the right, to get his lawyer. Okay, so if you're not doing bad here, what Filipino rights, you also have that. But make sure that you are not violated the law here, especially if you're not Filipino, because we treated foreigners, they have uh, the same rights. Lilibet, I have A. What do you mean A? What? What do you mean A? I don't want to say that because, I have A in my mind, but I don't want to speak that. So I might, So that's, that's the example that I give you guys. So what do you mean? G-Man A3. What do you mean? Okay. That's the rights you do have. I'm talking about Western people. Oh, a question. Okay. What is your question? But you have also access in the court, everything, as long as you're doing right here, the government will give you the same rights with Filipino. Okay. But if you're coming here like that guy that I mentioned to you in Dumaguete, he has the face to tell the world that people staring, Filipinos staring at him while he do filming, look like a monkey, and then his visa is expired. And then after that there's a lot of netizen that video gave to the mayor, and then the mayor, like I said, that they have ordinance that bawal ang bastos, prohibited the disrespectful people here. And then when the Bureau of Immigration police go to his house to arrest him, and then all of a sudden he changed his tune. He said that he loves Filipino are very friendly, but during the time that you do your filming, you said such a disrespectful words towards Filipino. So it's just like, what the heck is this? He think Filipino has no brain, to understand what he's talking about. That's, usually, guys, that's a very common for those with some, huh? I'm not saying all. I don't want to generalize Western people coming here, because there's some Western people coming here that they are nice to my people. They are very, they are very respectful, but some, they are very, they are very rude. Okay. So, what is your question, G-Man? Okay. Question, okay. My question is, I saw a man in the Philippines hurling the N-word at the black man. The black man started to videotape him. The police came and they told him he could not video the incident. Is that true?
General.
No, there's a certain, things. What is that, hold on. I'm not a lawyer, but I have a common sense, to understand. Hold on, guys. Okay. So this is the thing that, guys, that I'm not really just one side. So I really want to know, what is the cost this Filipino, I saw a man in the Philippines. Is this a Filipino that hurling the word towards the black man? Is it Filipino? If it's his Filipino, because Filipino are not really into that. Okay? If they saw something that that's really disrespectful on them, that's the time that they gonna say, they gonna hurling words towards you. But I cannot really say that, because I don't really hear the side of this person. Okay, because I know my people, Filipino are very friendly, particularly men. Okay, if this person say something, if the black man did not say something, so that person has a problem. Okay, so the thing is, no, actually, the videotape, they don't really prohibited that, because in the court here in the Philippines is one of the evidence that you can really present in the court. So I don't think that they do that, they prohibited that. No, actually the police will not say that, that's the proof of the black man tells that, there's a Filipino man hurling words towards him. Sometimes guys, even though that you are in, like in, in the, authority, sometimes they don't know what's the protocol, um the yeah, the protocol, how to arrest these people, because like I said that, the video, it's also um accepted that in court. So the black man, if he did not do wrong towards this Filipino, he can go to, to the barangay, okay, because if he, well, sometimes you don't know what's the barangay, that's the district, go to the barangay and tells that this is what happened and shown the proof. And you cannot really stop right there in the police. Foreigners, you have so many choice, to complain. And like, like in Makati City, guys, in BGC, if there's no, there's a police station, the barangay there, sometimes if it's too far, the barangay, there's a marshal there that you can able to complain these people are harassing you or do something harm on you. So, I cannot really, but, like I said that, if the black man did not say something to this Filipino, yeah, he has the right, to do that film because that's his protection. And then, if why this Filipino hurling, but, I don't really, do the conclusion that, so I'll make sure that this, I heard, the other side and not, the both side before I give my conclusion. Hello, Kiss. Good morning. What is your breakfast? What is your almusal? Okay, next, property and contracts can own buildings, condos, bank accounts, stocks. Yes, correct. This is the last day of a month of May. The Mayflower is almost over. So, business, either legal agreements. Note: generally cannot own land directly except some exceptions. Oh, coffee. You know what, guys? Before I'm gonna go to this, for those Western people, okay, don't really believe what other, even though these people has the authority to say something. Like I said, this is a good show that I give you information because like doing a film, is that your protection? So that's it's also accepted in court, so don't. But unless there's a certain place like in the crowded place, you do something like you just filming, don't take, don't take, a video with the people that eating, because that's prohibited, that's their, you have to respect their privacy. But if you're in, if you're in trouble, or somebody wants to harm you, no, don't hesitate to take that video, because even though that you are saying good, if you have no evidence, they might refuse your complaint. Hi, Bayou Belly. Good morning. Okay, so that's the thing, guys. Don't listen, because that's your protection, guys. If somebody harm you, you have the evidence that this is the person wants to harm me and wants to do something bad towards me. Gary, hello, Gary. As long as, here's my advice, as long as you follow the laws here in the Philippines, and you did not bring some your BS here, and some of my people wants to harm you, don't hesitate to take a video, all right? Lilibet, now our topic is the land ownership, foreigners. All right, so we're gonna go that way, kids. Okay, Frank said, I would like advice to you to take a video to your lawyer and let him or her deal with it. Correct. That's a good advice, don't hesitate, okay? Don't hesitate. Oh, Mr. Gary. Guys, if you have extra there, don't forget, to send me a donation, all right? I'm gonna appreciate that. Okay, so here's the thing that I really want to explain. It's just like, for those married to a foreigners, a Filipino, and then foreigners, like Western people, even though that, that's your dream house or your retirement house, still that land or that house, it's belong to your Filipino, because we have the law here. That's a sad, that's unfair law here in the Philippines, because they don't let foreigners coming here to have their own land. So it's just like makes sense that, if something happened here, if there's, well, I'm not something like war, how can this Western people protect or help my country, because they are not allowed, to own the land here. It's just like they are not belong here, if that's the law. But it is what it is, guys. Okay, so here's the option that you can able to have, to have that property. Okay, now yeah, that's the only way that you are not, you cannot own the land here. But if you have wants to build, if you want to buy own condo, yeah, they will allow you. If, guys, if a Western people coming here in the Philippines, and then the title of the land is under their name, that's big, 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 big sin. It's a big, that's against the law. That's against the law. If somebody own the land, that's meaning that's they process that title in a legal way, because we have the law here that Western people cannot own the land. Okay, Lilibet, just remember the saying, stick and stone will break my bones, but word will never harm me. When they use that type of words, it's only show that personal ignorance. Yeah, because it's up to you if you're gonna take that words, but action better than words. Me too. And then you just waste your saliva to talk this person, but they're not. Forget it. Okay, do end up like people in Thailand that are losing their land. Okay, so like when you bank accounts, you can open the bank accounts here, guys. It's according the visa that you have. Okay, so note generally cannot own land directly except some exceptions. Okay, Lilibet, I just learned the visa fees has increased for 55 years. 55 years older with pension. Have you heard of that? Well, it's been a long time that we because Frank has a residential visa, so I already forgot how much but I'm gonna check in his in his receipt. But it's just like when you if you are a residence visa here in the Philippines, it's just like after 5 years you gonna you will know how much is the cost, because not after 5 years it's not the same price as we paid that um, 5 years ago. Oh, that's there's a certain amount, like the is the retirement. How much is the retirement fee, Frank, here? I'm not really sure, but I through my through my memory, Algan, about 300,000 dollars for retirement fee here in the Philippines. Not 300,000. 300,000.
They can look it up at immigration.
Yeah. You know what, G-Man? All you have to do just just go to Bureau of Immigration. Their site, or if you want, if you're here in the Philippines. If you're not here in the Philippines, all you have to do just go to the immigration, www.bi.gov.ph. So you can you can go there and ask, because that is new to us. They increase the age. Okay, so I'm gonna read from Keys. As far as Westerners owning land in the Philippines, law change, Lilibet.
No.
No. Foreigners can own the land. No, it's not. I'm really say no. You just need to know no. My answer is no, because my sister is a lawyer. She knows. But there's an exception, but you cannot really own. There's an exception, but you cannot own. So I have the face to say no. It's not. So like I said, if you do that, if you do that, you know, the transaction that you made with that title of your land is illegal. Make sure that, you know, the government will not know about your no, you know, your legal business or not. You know, it's gonna be a big problem because we don't have that law that, you know, foreigners can able to own the land. If you're gonna build a corporation, here's the thing: if you're gonna build the corporation, like, you know, you're gonna build, you know, the like the like the condo. Actually, guys, you know, 40% foreigners ownership, 60% Filipino ownership. But you're not really, you know, it's just like corporation, but you cannot really own by yourself because that's against the law. Like, you know, like I read here that, you know, and I, you know, when I already, you know, I already talked that to my sister, but she said that, you know, there's option, but that option, it doesn't mean that you're gonna own the land. Like, you know, there's a, like, you know, in the, you know, in the, like in, you're gonna build a corporation. Imagine 60% Filipino ownership, then, you know, 40% just for the, you know, for foreigners ownership. You just need to know when it how use the knowledge. No, I know that's against the law case, but, you know, I really appreciate, you know, your opinion for that. All right. Philippines immigration is saying that 55 years old with a pension visa or classic visa is now 15,000. Okay. Are you planning, you know, to retire in the Philippines, G-Man? Or are you living here in the Philippines? Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's is RRV. You're right, Kiss. It is 60%, 40%, 60-40 rule on the land. Yes, Kiss is CRRV. Okay. I'm gonna talk that, you know, I'm gonna discuss that later because, you know, I'm not yet, it's, I'm almost, you know, I'm just started, but, you know, it's part of, you know, I'm gonna talk about the is RRV or types of visa. The is RV Classic used to be 10,000 a couple of years ago. Now it's 15. Yes. This is why it is important to talk with a lawyer. Correct. My intention is to retire in the Philippines. Okay. So my advice, you know, advice before you really into the conclusion that, you know, you really decided, you know, to retire here in the Philippines. Before you decide that, you know, learn or do your research about Philippines because there's so many things that you might, you know, you might regret when you're here. Okay. However, that's 15,000 Visa Classic is stiff. You know, sometimes, you know, we have Filipino that's saying that you cannot, once, you know, once you know, you have to think many times, okay? Learn to know the, you know, the weather here, okay? Because here in the Philippines, it's according what, what place are you gonna in. Now that, when it's rainy season, the flood, okay, it might lose your life, because the flood here is over the roof, okay. So you have to think, how do you adjust the weather, because now it's very hot, okay. And then the food, the traffic. But I use of traffic here in Metro Manila. I enjoy the traffic here. So when you're living here in Manila, like me, I've been here, most of my age here. I'm here in Metro Manila, so I use of that. All you have to do is time management, learn how to go, or learn how to leave the house early so that you will not stuck in the traffic. Okay, Frank said your lawyer will tell you how you get your money back, that output for your visa. Yes, that's a good thing that you have a lawyer. You can ask anything, and then they will advise you, the legal way, and for safety and for your money safety as well. But guys, don't think that you have to pay the lawyer. But if you're gonna hire my sister, oh, very affordable price. Kids, is RRV used to be under the control of the Philippines government, but that changed. Actually, the SSRV, I think the two countries, US and Philippines, because there's a certain um, rules that you have to, if you don't have that, I think that there's a certain amount of money that will you allow, to come here. So if you don't have that amount on your pension, they will not allow you. It's all about money talking. Yes, Lilibet, I'm going to explore other option. Okay, that's good. And then, this is my advice, okay? Be smart. Be smart when it comes to your money, especially if you really wants to move here in the Philippines, okay? Don't tempt, to spend that for the girls. Okay, for the girls. You're gonna lose your money for that, and you will end up broke. All right? So that's my friendly advice. My friendly reminder. By the way, guys, this is the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, my background. Okay, so next, work, study, residence, eligible for visa, work permits, residency, and retirement program like is RRV. Okay, we're talking about that. So you're eligible, but if you want to work here, you have to go on your working visa. If you're gonna come here in the Philippines just like tourist visa, and then you're gonna work, that's illegal. You have to apply for working visa. And then the residency, it's up to you what kind of visa that you want. There's but before if you're gonna apply for residency, make sure that you are married to a Filipino citizen. If not, you will not have that, residential visa, because that's between Western men and Filipino spouse. And then when it comes to healthcare here, there's a certain healthcare in the West that is not, accredited here in the Philippines. The PhilHealth, Western people can able, to apply by themselves. Okay, so if you're married to a Filipino, she's not your beneficiary. Just like a selfish healthcare, because like I have a healthcare, so my beneficiary is not Frank because he's foreigners. If he's a Filipino, yeah, I can put his name on my beneficiary, but he's not. So he can able, to get that, health care like in PhilHealth by himself. Well, the retirement, it's just like, you have to be aware of, how much money, because not only the fee, before you process that papers, before you get that is RRV visa or card, there's a lot of processing, there's a lot of fees. Not only one fee, there's a lot. Every window that you gonna process your papers, you have there's a fee indication. Okay, next, family excuse me, family and personal rights. Marry, have children, travel, access, healthcare, own and dispose of personal property. Oh my goodness, let me drink. Hi Joseph, hello. Okay, what I found out as a now, Lilibet, the Philippines government wants retirees over 50 to have a pension at least 1,400 a month and 15,000 and then the bank on consistent level. Yeah, there's a like, if that's, if that's what you read online, but because I did not check that, so you have to maintain that. It's okay to get more. It's okay to get more, not to less, like, they said that, 1,400, it's okay in that level, but you cannot do that less, because they will gonna revoke your SRRV visa. So you have to maintain that. It's okay, to go up, the money that you have, not to less. Veterans get a discount. I'm not really sure about that for, for the veterans. Well, Frank is a veteran, so he don't have that discount. Okay guys, here's here's my because they mention here family. Marry a Filipina that has children. You have to be aware of that, huh? Okay, you have to be aware of that. You have to talk with a girl with a Filipina, because there's a law here in the Philippines, another law, another another warning, another reminders for those Western people. You have to talk, if you're dealing with a Filipina that has children, you have to talk about how to discipline their children, because especially if you're the one who feed them, of course you have the right, to discipline them. but you have to be aware of, because we have the law here in the Philippines, BAUSI, violence against children, violence against women and children. Okay, if you gonna say something, bad towards their children, even though you're the one who fed them, you still gonna, they're gonna still file case towards you. So you have to be careful about that. Okay, so between you and her, you must talk about dealing with their children. Okay, but when it comes dealing with the Western or American children, you don't really have, because they are very independent. But when it comes to Filipino children, you have to be aware of that, because we have the law here that even though you're not doing bad, because sometimes children are very stubborn, hard-headed, they don't listen, even though they know that you're the one who fed them. They are not grateful. They still have face to say something towards you, and that triggers you to say something to them, but you have to be aware of that. All right? And never dealing with a woman that she's not annulled. Okay, that's against the law here in the Philippines. Some people doing that, they just their relationship, they keep that secret, but that's against the law. It's against the law here in the Philippines. Dealing with an annulled Filipina, that's against the law. Yeah, okay. Keeps it simple, yeah, but that's the only if you fall under the category which is the Visa Classic. He's married to you? Who? Who's you're talking he's married to you? G-Man is this RV is any kind of visa. I would advise you to have 2 million pesos to cover yourself for things that could happen. So 2 million pesos, that would be like 1 million is about $17,000. So that would be 17 is just like 14, like 34,000 US dollars. That would be about over 2 million. So it's just like, if you're single coming here in the Philippines, finding a Filipina mate, there's nothing wrong with that. And especially now that you decided, you decided to come here in the Philippines, and then you sell everything that you have because you really want to for good here. Okay, beware of the dog. Okay, so you're the one who gonna in control of your money, not the girls that you with, because they're in control to spend your money, and then you end up broke. Okay, so that's another reminders with you guys. I think that's the BAUSI. Yes, BAUSI. Violence against women and children. That's the thing, guys, that, this kind of law, they just really want to give protection with the women and children. But there's a certain Filipino man is also abused with their wife. Okay? So the law is unfair. Just only they gave protection with the women, but they never realized that there's also husband was abused with their wife. So they're also violence against men and children. so, so that must be fair, all right? Because not all women are, they also abusive with their husband. Por Dios por santo. Okay, let me read this. Mr. Frank from Keys. That's good advice, but I would have to say many lives paycheck to paycheck, nothing safe. Your husband, he doesn't need to use his veteran status because he's married to you. No, you don't need. Okay. When it comes to a Western man married to a Filipino citizen, it's advantage. Okay, that's advantage to have that residency. But before that, you coming here tourist, and then when you apply for a probationary visa, and you can stay here, and then you can open a bank account by yourself without asking for Filipino. But if you by yourself, huh? And then the residency visa, that's the time that you can able to do a joint account with her. G-Man have the look at the government in what it takes in net worth to see what the 1% in this country. Well, I know that. No, actually, haven't, Frank. Okay. So the top 1% that you consider rich here in the Philippines is, okay, showing to him, Frank. Okay, here we go. A net worth of 3 million pesos puts on you in the 1% rich here in the Philippines. 3 million, that would be like 34 plus 7, 34 plus 17, 11, about 51,000 USD. That would be 3 million pesos. Okay, so the rights you do not have. Okay, I already mentioned about the foreigner rights here in the Philippines. Now we're gonna discuss about rights you do not have here in the Philippines. Are you ready? Are you excited to hear that? Because I already gave you, the thing. Hello, babe. Oh my goodness. Hello, Miguel. How are you, Miguel? Thank you for coming, Miguel. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up, okay? Okay, about 48,000 franc. 3 million. All right. So here's the thing that, for foreigners have no rights here in the Philippines. Okay, are you ready? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, number one, cannot vote, run for public office, or hold a government position. You cannot have that. You cannot vote here in the Philippines. If you're gonna run for for like like if you want to enter the politics, you cannot. That's prohibited here in the Philippines. So you cannot vote. So whatever you say, just that's the reason why I mentioned a while ago that for those Western people wants to pick Philippines for the retirement place, you have to think many times, because this is when it comes to this, you are not allowed to vote. You just take what politician doing here, so your voice is not heard. All right.
For the person that made the comment about you have the right to leave, actually you don't. If you stay over, what is it? Is it 4 months, 6 months? You have to get permission to leave. You have to pay a fee.
That's for for residence visa. Yeah. Okay, guys.
No, not for, if you are a permanent resident, you don't have to pay that. But if you come here on a visitor's visa and you stay over a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
then you have to go and
Renewal
pay. Well, no. To leave, you have to get permission.
to leave.
Yeah, to leave. You have to pay a certain amount of money and then you can leave.
Whoa. I didn't know that. I thought that's only for, residents, like example.
No, it's not. If you're a permanent resident, you don't have to pay that fee when you go to leave. But if you can't,
But
be
you
a
have to
permanent-
ask the Bureau of Immigration to, you have to leave the country, but you don't have to pay that. But you have to inform them that you're gonna leave the country.
No, not if you're a permanent resident.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because you can leave and come back
Hmm.
if you're a permanent resident. But if you come on a visitor's visa, it's a different story.
All right.
And
Okay.
they can look all of that up at the Bureau of Immigration.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. So that's that's the thing that you heard what Frank said. Okay. But you have, like Frank said, that you have to pay. It's all about this, guys. I can't run for barangay captain. Yes, definitely you can't, because you have no right to vote here. That's whatever you look, about the government that you have, opinion, to make that, that like in the barangay, if you really want to run for barangay, if you really want to improve the system, the services in this barangay, you can't, because they don't allow you to, to enter politics, and they will not allow you to vote. See, okay, I'm gonna cannot, rights you do not have, I'm talking about Western people, cannot vote, run for a public office, or hold a government position. You will not that. You will not qualify for that, because that's prohibited. Yes, you can. That's the exit visa. Yeah. So guys, it's just like, I thought that, that time that, okay, because, that time that, tourists, probation, every, like, if they, they give you like the tourist visa, you can stay here in the Philippines for how many months? 90 days, 3 months. And then you have to, you have to renew that. And then we plan, I applied, Frank, for, residence visa, and I thought that, the fee will, will stop. No, it's not. We're still paying the annual fee. We're still paying the annual fee. So every year we pay the annual. So that's really much, but you're still gonna pay. Can I have a fixer? No, there's no fixer. If you're gonna go to the fixer, make sure the fixer is, connected, accredited by Bureau of Immigration, Joseph. If not, they're gonna get your money. Okay, there's so many people do that here, especially in the LTO, Land Transportation Office. There's a lot of fixer. They said no fixers, but in secret they have. And then you suddenly somebody, mom, you want something this, even in the NBI, NBI, to get a NBI certificate. They said that in the main office, they said in the wall, no fixer. But before you gonna enter the gate of the main office, there's so many people, mom. Oh, mom, you want to do online for for your NBI, so that you don't want to sit there and fall in line for the there is. Ay ay ay, ay ay ay. No, you know, you know, do a fixer, you know. Oh my goodness, you know, it's just like, you know, you don't really have to. All you have to do, just do, because you know, when I apply, you know, Frank for his visa, I never go to agency. We just learn, okay? We look online first, what the requirements needed, and then we just follow things. Less, you know, less cost. Even my, you know, application when I, you know, apply for my my tourist visa in the, you know, in USA, you know, we just do just less. Okay, OJs, money, 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 money. Yeah, like this. They want a big chunk of cheese, not a bite, but they want a big chunk of cheese. No fixer. Okay. Right. That's right. No fixer, guys, because you're gonna lose your money, and then you're gonna end up that might your, you know, your papers, or you know, things is uh what do you call that, is fake. That's right, Frank. Philippines. Ay, ay, ay. So if you're gonna go to Bureau of Immigration to extend your thing, you know, bring extra money, because, like Frank said, Philippines. I had a girlfriend use a fixer, and I got her passport in 1 week. Yeah, you know, just like I said, there's nothing wrong to go to the fixer, but make sure that, you know, that fixer is accredited, like, you know, like going to, you know, take it, you know, apply for, you know, for the passport, you know, there's a fixer, but make sure that it's accredited of Department of Foreign, DFA. My throat, it starts to itch.
I've got a warning for everybody. The people in Thailand, the foreigners in Thailand who bought homes and used fixers so that they could have the land in their name, they are losing their homes now.
Oh my God.
And the lawyers that they use to fix the paperwork up, they're being prosecuted. So you have to be careful when it comes to doing things the illegal way. When somebody tells you, oh, we could do it this way, make sure everything that you do is in a legal way to cover yourself.
Yeah, that's what I noticed about in, you know, Thailand, but I'm not saying all. But you know, even though that you go to Pattaya, you know, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of bars there. You know, most of, you know, most of people that, you know, they, you know, the front is the lady boy, you know, they, you know, they offer some, you know, some drinks to this, you know, Western man, and if you're not aware of their strategy or their, you know, their tricky style, you gonna, you know, you're gonna end up beaten, or you're gonna end up pay the things that you never drink or you never eat. And then if you gonna, you know, if you gonna, you know, refuse to pay that what they said, or you order this because you sit, if there's somebody will offer you to sit, no, don't sit if you're not interested, because that's automatically the start of your headache, and you might end up beaten with this, you know, lady boy, or you know, there's bouncer, and then, you know, you're gonna end up lose your money. Okay, next. Okay, next. Cannot owned land. Okay, so for kids, he said that, foreigner can own the land. No, it really tells here, cannot own land. That's the rights you do not have. You cannot own the land, but you can own the condo.
Or a townhouse.
Yeah, townhouse. Natural resources strike limits. Okay? Again, natural resources is strike limits to, I know, strict, not strike, strict limits to Western people. Or on the certain regulated business and industries. Like I said, that, when you build a business here, even a fast food chain, you have to make sure that, you have 6% ownership with Filipino and then 40% with Western people. If not, they will not allow you. How do you pronounce, hippopotamus? Hippopotamus? I have that hard time.
I know that joke.
That's why sometimes, when I ask things towards Frank and then he don't really understand, oh my God, I asked him, Frank, is that my English so bad that you don't really understand what I'm talking about?
Hip Hop Anonymous.
Hip hop.
That's the joke.
But our English, we learned that from you guys, for American people. Because we colonized by American. But my tone of, my accent is really Tagalog, it's really Filipino. Oh my goodness, guys. My goodness. Okay? So, next, rights depends on your visa status. Overstaying or violating the laws can lead you to penalties or deportation. So that's the funny thing is, that when I started this live stream, I forgot the name of the country in Europe. He has the face to tell when he do his filming, looking, oh, why they're staring at me? They look like a monkey. And then when the Bureau of Immigration Police, check his status, his status was, he's overstaying, his visa was expired. So make sure, guys, that, always, if you're a tourist here in the Philippines, okay, no matter what you're doing, no matter what, always check your visa. Okay, 1 week before the expiration, you can able to renew for that. They will allow that. Okay, so make sure that your visa is also your ticket to stay here in the Philippines. If your visa and then you commit something, something unexpected, if you're gonna go to the bar, they will not give, the Bureau of Immigration, they will not give you reason, to deport you, because your visa is not, expired. You stay here in a illegal way. But if you're gonna do something BS here and then your visa is expired, you give them a chance, to deport. Or of course, you have record here. Like, I said, remember this, guys, that even though, check in Google, Google, you cannot own the land, period. Okay, so I'll give you the exception. Okay, exception when the foreigners can own land. Okay, here's the thing. While the general rules is foreigners cannot own land in the Philippines, there are the main allowed cases. Condominium units. You can own the unit itself in the building, land held by the corporation. As long as your total foreign ownership in the building is not more than 40%. Next, inheritance. You may acquire land by legal inheritance or succession, though you generally cannot buy or sell it freely afterwards, and may need to dispose of it within a certain period. Okay, former Filipino citizens, people who were once Filipino citizens but become a foreign national can own land, subject to limits on size and purpose, residential, business. Okay, so like example, they said that if I go to the, if I change my citizenship, I can still, like American citizenship, I can still own the land, but there's, there's a limit size of land that I can able, to own. But not a foreigners, like, American, not. It's just like it's, I'm still Filipino in blood, in color, but my citizenship is American, so they gave you that a chance. Okay, specific legal grants. In every limited cases, land may be acquired through special laws of the government or government approval, usually for investment or public interest project. So, if you're gonna come here in the Philippines, like, you have to, you have to find an investor. 60% Filipino investor or ownership, or 40%, foreign ownership. So that's, you have to apply that so that the government will allow you to do that. If you're gonna build like, like townhouse, for renting, but you make that into a corporation. You cannot do that by yourself. Okay, so any question, guys? Oh, my English is excellent. Oh, salamat. Frank said you can lease the land. Yeah. My friend leases the land from his girlfriend after he bought it. But my friend leases the land from his girlfriend after he bought it. But the name, but the name is still not on your, is his name. It's still the name of the, the, who's the person that he bought that. Hello, Sharon, my dear Sharon. Hello, thank you for coming. Hello, Beth, good morning. My husband has the right on my property. He is one of property. He is one of the heirs. Even I bought the house in my own, even if the title is under my name. Because you're married here. Because we have the law. But what I mean, if he's really want to bought, he wants to buy the land, he cannot. But he has the right, to heirs your property, because what the wife property is the husband's property. What the husband property is the wife property. That's in the the civil code, or the civil code of the Philippines for for couple. It doesn't really matter if you're married to a Filipino or Western people. Yeah, absolutely. He can heirs that house for you. But the thing is, if you're gonna buy a land, to build another house, that land, it belongs to your name, not on him, because that's against the law. But if he wants to, he's one of the heirs of your property, yes, because that's part of the, it's our, civil code when it comes to, when it comes to family code of the Philippines. So that's one thing that it's, unless that if you have a prenuptial agreement, he cannot have that. As long as there's no prenuptial agreement, all right, your husband can have that property, because his property is your property is his property. In general, your money is his money is your money. Okay. That's the thing. Okay, here in the Philippines. Yes, he cannot own the land, but his name will be indicate the one of the documents. Yes, right. But guys, for those Western people, don't really believe for those people that really wants to sell land on you guys. Okay, there wants to sell land on you. Okay, don't believe that. All you have to do, like I said, that if you really doubt about that, go to a Filipino attorney and ask for legal advice. 1,000, 2,000, it will not really hurt your pocket to get a legal advice. And then if you really wants to know that, just let me know, guys. I will I will cater you to my sister, all right? So we can negotiate the price for that, all right? Okay, so let me read from Joseph. A lot of foreigners don't like the law. I know, because Mr. Frank Tate is one of the question that, but it is what it is. I think I think it is a good law in the U.S. about anybody can buy a land. That's the one thing that it's the really difference from the state. But here's the thing, guys, that they let people in the states. This is my understanding why they allow people even though that they are not U.S. citizen, as long as you have money. Because here's the thing, they're gonna hurt people when it comes to tax. So if you don't have enough fund to pay your taxes every year, that property, the government has the right to get that from you. If you cannot sustain the pay for tax. So they let, because that's the way that the IRS get money, right, Frank? So if they cannot pay the tax with their property, so the what do you call that, Frank? The installment agreement. If they cannot really have that installment agreement, so the IRS has the right to sell that property.
To seize and sell it.
The season sell it?
Seize. To take it and sell it.
Sell it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Okay. So I learned a little about, the thing, because he's working from that. Actually here, in the Philippines, the tax is according, they base the tax is according, your property. If that's commercial, you're gonna pay a little higher, tax. But, if you're gonna buy, the land, outside Metro Manila, and then it's that in the countryside, the cost of tax is not really much. But here in Metro Manila, if you're gonna buy properties, guys, per square meter, the range is, like 25 to 35,000 per square meter. But if you're gonna go outside Metro Manila, the highest per square meter, they offer you like, 3,000, 3,800, 2,500, something like that. But here in Metro Manila, 25 to 35,000 per square meter. It depends, especially if it's a commercial area, is higher than the amount that I mentioned. So any question, guys? So I already share with you guys, foreigners' rights and foreigners don't have rights here in the Philippines. So any question? So I'm a colorful. I really love my dress. So this is poncho style, and then I have sunflower in my hair. This is funny, guys. That I was get ready 15 minutes before my show start, and then I'm just there in front of the mirror fixing my hair. And then Frank suggests you better go to your hair salon, and then I refuse. I cannot really count on my hand that go to I want my hair like this. He's talking about my hair. What does three? What? Number three. What does the number three? What do you mean number three? So maybe I'm gonna discuss the next discussion, because I want you to absorb things that I share with you guys. So I just uh, uh, focus on the subject that Western people has to right, and Western people don't you have no right here in the Philippines. So I think that I can give you some clue and some ideas, how to deal with that, because I already mentioned that you cannot able to have that, but there's a certain rights that you can. I'm saying, are you on number three now? Number three. What?
He's talking about how many people are online now by the thumbs up, or is he talking about number three by the name, by the crown?
I'm saying, are you on number three now? What number three?
3 people by thumbs up
Okay.
online.
Well,
Is that it, or is he talking about the 3 that's on somebody's crown? The crown by your name?
no. Okay.
Is that what he's talking about?
I don't really understand what you're talking about, Jim. And okay, hold on. Let me read this comment from Joseph. We are American, have the file taxes even if we don't live in the country. I pay property taxes and insurance on my property in the States. I finally got rid of my dental insurance. That's also, that's a good thing that you have insurance. Something happened, you don't really have a hard time, to return it back if something loose about your property or what. But you have to pay the tax. My first time watching your channel, do ever show Frank? Yeah, here's the thing, guys, that I really, I'm not really into that, if I invite him, like, okay, would you like to join with me? If he's not say no, I will not, I will not insist, because I respect his privacy. And this is all about my, this is my show, but there's a certain things that I need him, to explain, that to prove that I'm telling the truth, or I'm not saying what, what other people, I'm saying facts about that. So sometimes he join, but there's a certain video, Joseph, try to check on some of the video that I have, with his, look at on the thumbnail that he's with. So he was there on my show. Because, I'm not really into that. I let him enjoy what he's doing, okay? If he wants to go with me, no, no, it's okay. I can handle this. If I something else that, I don't really understand when it comes to American English, I ask him. But I'm happy that sometimes he shared like a while ago that he say something what what Western people really needs to be done while while planning or while here in the Philippines. The number two cannot own land. I was wondering, have you moved on? About about the topics. Okay, that's the last okay. Now I get you. I got you. Okay, so I already I did not say number three. So this is the number three, okay, Joseph. So I'm gonna say this to you because the number two is that you cannot own land here, and number three is specific legal grants, okay, and every limited cases land may be acquired through special laws of government approval, usually for investment or public interest projects. So like I said, I mentioned this that if somebody like wants to build a townhouse or condominium, the government will allow that, okay, because the land is on the corporation, not individual owned. That's owned by corporation, because 60% ownership with Filipino, and then 40% with with Western ownership. So they will allow that, but it doesn't mean that you will once you apply for that, there's a building or something, I forgot about the agency that they will check the location, and they will check the plan. If the plan is fit on the standard thing that they have given, yes, they will approve that, okay. Or the public interest. So that's the number three. So I did not mention, so I just wanted what number two we're talking about. Yeah, I got you. So that's the number three. But when it comes to maybe the next time that I'm gonna learn, and I gonna research about, so that I can give you details about types of visa for foreigners here in the Philippines. So that's a good discussion that I can able to share with you guys. So uh, stay tuned for that. So I'm gonna do a research, because when I do something like this, guys, um, I also do my homework. I study this, okay, so that I can able to give some. I'm not a lawyer, but my sister she's a lawyer, so I have also I have also information. If I'm really doubt about what they really tells, I have to ask her if that's really facts, and then she said yes. So, but again, okay, for those Western people who wants to buy land, you cannot own the land here, no matter what. If that person, if the Western man has that name, they build that, they do that business in a legal way, because that's in the law. You can search that on Google, that foreigners cannot own land here in the Philippines. Period. Period. Oh, guys, for those who wants to send donation, guys, I have PayPal, so I really appreciate if you're gonna click that PayPal thing on my, channel description, and of course, I accept also super thanks. Okay. Do you mean 3 by the nouns? Oh, no, no, it's not what I think. Chica. Guys, any one of us, very cool. It's just like, if we know how to, how to respect people's opinion. And that's the reason why some people are not really click their personality, because if this person tells, you have to go on their program. But if you really know how to respect other people's opinion, oh, you really have a great time with these people. Okay. So you don't have to, you don't have to disagree with them. All you have to do to listen to them. Okay. Yeah, I got you. That's the topic. I did not mention about the number 3, but I already explained. So that's the last, that's the last subject that I discuss. Joseph, we are in the same boat, and U.S. taxes, land, and income. Joseph, so much for sister saying passport broke, being bros being broke in Dusty. Oh, speaking of firearms, good thing that you mentioned that, Joseph. Here in the Philippines, Western people cannot own firearms here. It's prohibited. Especially for those, married, with Filipino, I can own. It's similar, similar rules about, own land. Just also the gun also. It's not. My goodness. My goodness. I can tell that, Joseph, you said that, okay, let me highlight this. Yeah, I know poor and dumb Asian women too. Yes, because these Asian women are brainwashed with some Western women. And they already have experience, dealing in different countries. They act like a Western woman too. But it's just like me. I always there, I'm always look at, how how I'm lucky, how I'm grateful to have Frank in my life. I'm making drama. Frank, don't make your ears big, huh? Don't be hydrocephalus. So, I still, respect him. I don't really, he don't really hear that from other women say something to her. No. Especially when it comes to money. My goodness, my goodness. Even though that, he share his money. Well, the money here in the Philippines, we have, I have access that. But, his money in the States, that's his money, because before that I never met him, but we already married here, so the money here I have the right. I have the right that so I have no right, but he still share that money. So imagine guys, I'm not left my chair saying this with you, especially for those black people right now watching on my show. I'm not putting up my chair to say this. Imagine, I know black people, how they think, how they manage when it comes to their money, especially those older. They're very clever when it comes to their money. So imagine that, why Frank share his money in the state and share his money here with me. Something special on me that he really trusts his money on me. But, guys, I don't really take that advantage, because I do believe karma. Now karma is digital. Not happen to you, but one day the karma will gonna take it to you when you get old, that you cannot able to do that. So that karma will realize you, what did you do when you was young to this person? Now it's time for me to get that on you. So I don't want that happen in my life, okay? If I gonna die, I want to die a peaceful. I don't want to die that somebody tried to torture on me because I did something wrong to the person that who really cares, who really love me. I don't want to do that. They have a lots of dance range here. Yeah. And Camp Crummy and Camp Bagong Diwa. Oh, just let me know. Because, my sister, you know what? This is funny thing is, my sister, she's single. She's single. I don't know, maybe she has a boyfriend. I don't know, because I can see that every post that, she's very in love. My goodness. My sister, she's a lawyer. At the same time, she is a police woman. So, Joseph, if you're looking for, for a firing range, just let me know. It's just like me. I don't really give a F. I don't really give a F for those Western women saying towards passport bro or black men, because I don't really have that experience. Because I treat it like, oh my god, Frank treated me like a queen. So I'm proud to say that I'm not angry. I'm not upset when I share this. I'm share this with smile on my face, because that's what it is. Okay, so no matter what they're saying to these brothers or to this, I don't give a F for that, because it's not true. It's not true. Okay. So I think that's the reason why, I think that's the reason why Frank really, you know, he asked me, you know what? You don't know how much I really love you. And then I told him, no, I don't know, but I know you love me, but I don't know how much. Oh yeah, karma ain't no joke. So before we gonna end this, because my goodness, it's almost 2 hours. That's why my mouth. You know what, guys? My mouth it's aching. So it gonna be okay if you're gonna send that donation to me. Guys, you be really lucky. I give you information that you never heard from other channel. So you have to give me that compliment because my mouth starts to aching. So before we gonna end this, we're gonna end this show, okay? So it's just like there's nothing wrong to find, the right person. It doesn't really matter what race is that. All you have to do just give your time to know this person. But don't give your time like 3 years. 3 years, 4 years. You're still boyfriend and girlfriend. So before it's too late. Okay, especially if you meet the Filipina that this almost hit the wall. You don't give that time. 1 year is enough to know the personality, what you something in common, or okay, don't take it like 5 years and then you're still boyfriend and girlfriend. Come on, there's something not right there. There's something not right there. Okay. If just like also I gonna share this with Filipina. Okay, don't be desperate. Don't be desperate, to find a mate. It doesn't mean that you met that person, that this is the person that is your future husband or what. Okay, give your time, to know this person. Because same thing, men, they also find a person that they really, are they comfortable if I gonna sleep on the bed together with him or together with her. I don't really have that, I don't really have that doubt feeling that if he gonna do something. Okay, so give your time to know, but not too long, guys. 1 year is enough to know the person, especially if you have a regular communication. All right, so that's my advice. And don't rely your pocket or your wallet to the girl. Okay, especially if you decided to sell everything. Okay, your money, you're in control for that. Okay. And Chandis. Oh yes. Oh, my mouth starts to a little not. Okay, I have something, Shana. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Joseph. I'll give you here. Okay, where? No? So this is for you, Joseph. Salamat. Okay, so from Joseph, I told a woman last night that I've been here for 4 years and this is the happiest I ever been in my whole life. Seriously? Wow. That's so I'm happy to to hear that the Philippines is the country that you give peaceful. So it's just like, I'm gonna example this. Frank, well, I'll give you a little glimpse about, my love story. So we're talking about online about over a year, well, almost 2 years. Okay. And then, he decided that, I'm gonna come here when I starts to, there's something wrong. There's a little problem with my job. And I told him, oh my goodness, I'm gonna fire, I smell something fire on my boss. And then he said, okay, don't worry, I got your back. And then I told him, no, it's okay, don't worry. You don't have to come here. Just to let you know that, if our communication is not really often, and, you know already the reason. So I'm looking for a job. And they said, no, no, come. And then that's the time he come here. And then, like, we stay in the hotel. This is a nice hotel. I give credit to Frank. He really give me a good life when he come, even until now. But it's just like, I'm a bit shy for that, because I don't him to think that I will take advantage. But I did not demand that kind of treatment from him. He's the one who gave that treatment from me. So I go to the restaurant, but it's not the 5-star restaurant. Good steak, good quality. It's just like, you can really tell on me that I'm very ignorant when it comes to that. Okay, so I'll give you, we, in Ortigas, we stay there in the hotel, to a hotel, a nice hotel. So the second hotel, I really enjoy, I really enjoy our stay. So about over a month before, because that while we stay in the hotel, I'm the one who go around to find this place. And this is the place that I were living in. This is the one that I picked. All the place that I'm viewing, this is the place that I really want, because it's near to the bank, near to the airport, of course, it's near to the mall, it's near to the market, it's very accessible for those places that I mentioned. And then when we move here, we give our chance, okay, we live together, and then we don't really go to the married thing. So we give our chance, am I comfortable sleeping with him, or to stay with him? We give ourselves, to time. And then by the time that, okay, I asked him, how do you feel about me when I'm with you? How do you feel that, I'm sleep with you, eating together? And then he said, I'm good. And then, and then he asked me, how about you? I'm good. So, and then I told him, okay, let's get married. So we process all the things, and that's it. We're almost 8 years. We'll still. I have, he has no problem on me. I have no problem on him. So that's a good thing, guys. That you have to give your time to know the person, because at the end of the day, if you find the right person, they you both will have a peaceful life. Okay, you don't have a problem, but you have just like inconvenience. Is that the right term, Frank? Inconvenience.
What?
It's just like, it's just this is the thing that you always tell. We don't have a problem, but we have
Inconveniences.
inconveniences. Okay. Because I cannot tell inconveniences. Okay. So that's the thing, guys. Okay, for those ones that you don't want to find a mate and who wants to stay. Okay, my advice is, be responsible of your money. There's nothing wrong to go to the bar, okay, to have a couple of beer, couple of cocktail drinks, and that's it. Talking with the girls, there's nothing wrong, but don't rely your pocket to them, okay? Because money, it's easy to spend, but it's hard to earn. the awesome Lilibet, you and Frank really get along. Yeah, because it's just like, I don't want to, I don't, here's the thing, G Man. I don't want to end up that, it's just like, just from the start that I'm so excited to, with him. And then at the end of the, our relationship, it starts losing my love to him. I don't want that. Okay, so that's the thing, guys, that you don't have to marry a person because you're coming here in the Philippines to find a mate, to woman, to F. Okay, I'm just be honest with you guys. I'm just straight. It will not work if you come here. That's your intention. It will not really work. It works on first year, second year, but when it comes to third year, it's something, something not right there. Okay, so you have to come here. If you're gonna come here just to visit or just to meet different people, men and women, it's okay. That's your prerogative, to do that. You can stay, you can be happy without a partner, because no matter what, you're the one who gonna make smile on your face, not other people. Okay, it's just like people will give you more smile on your face, but one thing that it gonna give you a smile is yourself. If somebody will do a joke on you, if you don't want to smile, they cannot help that. Okay, you're the one who gonna give smile on your face. All right, so be aware of your decision, beware of your money, and especially if it's the last drop of your money. Don't gamble your money for nothing. Okay, you can be happy by yourself, guys. It's useless also to have a partner that your partner is paying in your behind. Okay, it's no good also. Frank said, live below your means when you come here to stay. That's 101% true. It's all about money management, guys. Okay, guys, any question before, I give you a chance, I'll give you a chance to ask a question. Two or three questions. Fire, come on. Before I gonna end up this. So maybe next time I'm gonna talk about, the visa. Okay. So any question? Come on. So yes, for those people that here, Joseph, if you're still here, maybe I can, well, my birthday is bare months. Okay, so maybe I can invite, maybe I can do some meet and greet as well. But well, let's see, because that's also a cost of, I need funds for that. What's the best area to live in Manila? Oh my goodness, there's so many places to live in Manila. Okay, it's according your budget. Like here in Metro Manila, you can live. Rainy season will be over by then. No, it's not. It's not yet rainy season. It's summer season. It's not yet. It's still summer season. That's why, I mentioned it's very hot. Mainit, my goodness. Very hot. if you're gonna live, if you're gonna live, excuse me, like, high-rise building, yeah, BGC, I will recommend. BGC, I will recommend. Like, Rockwell, that's in Makati. But if you're gonna live in the house, if you want to rent the house, like Forbes Park, Dasmariñas Village, it costs like, 250,000 per month. Like Ayala Alabang in the south, there's so many places that you can. It's according your budget. But like I said, that in BGC there's a certain place that you can afford, like, the studio type, the price of the, is like 25,000 up. You said your birthday is in the bare months. Yes, in the bare months. You know what, guys? Last year, I really want to invite everyone. So there's a, I have subscribers that, who sponsor my, my last year birthday, my lechon. He sponsored that. And then, my cakes, he sponsored that. So I'm really grateful that, he sponsored that, But just only me and my sister, because, I just want that, that's my, special birthday. Okay, so I just invite my sibling. It's also, family reunion. But I really enjoy that. What do you, what do you, what do you two think about the seaside residence near and MOA? Oh, you know what, guys? When it comes to safety, the seaside there, that's, what do you call that? What do you call that, Frank? That, they dump all the garbage.
You talking about in the ghetto?
No, in seaside. That's in MOA. What do you call that, guys? The MOA is not that, land. It's just like, they dump all the, the trash there, and then they flatten. But that's the, that's the, under that it's water, not really, not really land. So I'm not really into that. There's so many places that, they offer that, but I refuse that because it's not really land. Okay, that's, that's the garbage that, they just compress, to become hard and hard. But the under that it's water. Landfill, yeah, they make that landfill. Okay, because the MOA, that area, that MOA, that's, that's a landfill. So I don't really want to, if you're gonna find a place, go to BGC, go to like Parañaque in my place. There's so many, or near to the airport. I don't really like, there are so many places nice in, in that area, but it's not really safe, guys. But they said that it's safe. No, you already have a clue. Why you have to, why you have to pursue that? Of course, they will not happen, but time will come, it will happen. Because it's not really, here in my place, this is not a landfill, okay? Even though that they build something that, modern, but still. Do you want to save money? Who's you're talking with? No, I know. There's so many nice high-rise building there in, seaside. I don't like. Because I know the the seaside there is not really, they don't build the, the high-rise building with the, with the soil, but they land that, under that garbage is water, because that's part of Laguna Lake. Yes, Frank, I do want to save money, most definitely. Why you getting married? Excuse me. I'm just teasing you, Joseph. Landfill. I advise starting out in the gated community until you know where you really want to stay. Correct. So guys, thank you so much, once again to Joseph who gave me this so I'll give you this another applause for that. So guys, I really enjoy talking with you because this kind of context is really informative. I hope that you will learn about what I said, but at the end of the day, you will appreciate me. Okay. So, again, thank you so much. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Okay? So, I'm gonna speak that in English. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, to give time, to share with your opinion and your question. I really appreciate that. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And okay. So, from the bottom of my heart, Lilibet Tate channel is out. Bye.